says what he wants to say. He's not somebody who's he's not an establishment person. That's the main thing. And like
he's the perfect embodiment of a Republican, or not a Republican, someone who wants change, radicalism.
I mean, kind of. I mean, somebody who wants I would say he's a perfect embodiment of a far right, radical. He he can get people to and this is the whole it's not just in reality, like most of this, the main thing that sort of the government has sort of been running on for the past 30, 50 years is neoliberalism. It's I don't know if you've heard of it, but neoliberalism is basically this idea that the government should not and I totally agree with you, Big Chungus. The government should not be getting themselves involved with capitalism at all. They should let companies be able to do whatever they want, and they shouldn't give any regulations. It's and this isn't conducive to a great society, because it ends up it just creates a situation where corporations just take over everything. It's not a great...
It just becomes chaos, yeah. Oh, or that.
Yeah, so that's neoliberalism, and people are tired of neoliberalism. Unfortunately, the Democrats have just become a party of maintaining the status quo, which means that they are neoliberal. The Republicans were very neoliberal up until recently. Reagan was the first person that really cemented neoliberalism in this country. His the bulldozing of public institutions, privatizing everything, treating businesses as individuals with the rights of any regular person. It caused so many problems, and it caused us to be in the situation we are in today, where we treat corporations like people. We give them the same and so Trump comes along and he's like, hey, I'm running against neoliberalism. And people are desperate because, the Democrats aren't doing anything, so they vote for him. That's the only other person. It's
there's another problem then with limited options.
Yeah, limited options. The thing is, the thing is, the Democrats, when they look at what's happening, the conclusion they draw from it isn't, we need to go farther left, or we need to do something. The conclusion is, people must really like the Republicans' policies, let's try to go more middle of the road than we already are. And that actually just makes them less popular, because people don't want somebody who's middle of the road. They don't want somebody who's not strong. They want someone who wants radical change. That's the thing. So Democrats are digging their own grave with trying to be more moderate. Yeah, Zohran Mamdani is right now the only successful politician in America right now who's actually doing things that are, for America, radical. And also on the left. Things like, state-owned, the state-owned supermarkets. That's one of his ideas that people are really behind, because normally, people would see that and go, oh my god, or the establishment would see that and go, oh my god, it's communism, we gotta stop that. But, the thing is, these, socialist ideas are, they're tested in other countries. They work quite well. Soviet Russia was a terrible country, we can all agree on that. But it doesn't mean that all these socialist ideas are all bad. It's just that Russia was a terrible example of it. And so, because of and I'm not saying we need to go communist, but what I am saying is because of because of the stance America took on communism back in back in the early 1900s, we've opposed socialist ideas in any way, pretty much at all. We've become enamored with capitalism,
which isn't really logical, I wouldn't.
It's not. It's really not. Capitalism is and the thing is, we're getting to a point where people realize capitalism is flawed. People aren't.
Oh, it's so
we're not so far enough yet where we're saying, let's do communism, but people recognize that there's a problem. And that's the thing that Trump's taking advantage of, is he's saying, we're not doing neoliberalism, instead of capitalism, let's try fascism. And people are willing to listen to him. if we got somebody who just said, hey, what if we're doing communism? Potentially we are desperate enough that potentially even in America that could work. I'm not saying that is the best solution. I'm not sure what the best solution really is, but I think that what really needs to happen is there needs to be somebody, on the left who's actually saying things that are radical. They don't have to be that radical, they just have to be not establishment. But that's just my opinion. The main thing is fascism arises from a society being in a bad position and and nobody offering a solution but the fascists. It's based on fear. That's like the whole idea. The further left you go, typically, if you look at, the political compass, the furthest thing from fascism on the political compass is technically anarchism, which is very interesting ideology. Like in America, unfortunately, the establishment has been very good at making people inherently associate leftist ideology, with leftist ideology as being bad, instantly turned off. And I'm not saying I'm an anarchist, but that's typical. The whole idea behind anarchism is being able to self-regulate your society without a central government. Whether or not that's possible is up for debates, but that's
in small places.
Oh, absolutely. In small places, absolutely. Communist is a more authoritarian, is sort of like an authoritarian version of, or a more authoritative version of the idea of anarchism, is that we need a society to be able to we need some kind of government to self-regulate us, but that government should still be, it shouldn't rule through fear. It should rule through, the government should be, making sure that people aren't able to take advantage of each other, is kind of the idea. Capitalism is kind of like anarchism, but without people, it's very complicated.
Yeah, I know that's, it is very complicated.
And I'm not the best.
I don't think anyone will ever come out of a conclusion. It's very hard to get people united nowadays.
Yeah. It's very...
Especially with how divided we are now.
I mean, I think the thing is...
I hear someone else is a Republican, I start hating them. It's really weird. I don't like it.
I mean, I think...
I start listening to them less and less.
Oh, I mean, yeah, honestly, and I have the same, honestly, it is at this point right now...
Or says that they're like Trump, I'm like, I start listening to them.
Yeah, and the thing is that I'm realizing is a lot of people are just, the problem is they're victims of the system that we live in. And I'm not saying that you should listen to people who are talking about Trump all the time, because, well, it's not good for your brain. It's not. But the people aren't necessarily evil. It's just that it's potentially what some of them are. But I think I think again the main thing is just they are choosing if you really sit down and think about it for long enough, you can see, oh well, the Democrats have a better they don't have a good deal, but they have a better deal than the fascists. But if you're someone who's not a political person,
I just got it.
We're talking about politics.
Yeah, why?
It's I was just kind of what happened.
I want to play the game. I just got it.
You can play the game, just mute him.
It's
yeah, but I'm low-key playing it.
My bad.
That, then I have to go through the voices,
I mean, it's really not that hard. You can just hold on. You can hold the tab button, and then if your mouse does your mouse show up when you hold tab?
Oh yeah, I think it would be like that.
Yeah, so you can just go over to my profile, right-click on it, and then press the mute button.
Honestly,
I'm not happy that
what's happening right.
We're just
what I
expected
to hear today, but it's
politics.
something interesting.
Yeah, it is. I think it's I really think that at the end of the day, I really think that oh, there's a sentry over here. Hold on, I'll get rid of that. I forgot I'm playing KF2.
Yeah, I should have probably said that there's a sentry up there.
Yeah, no, I feel like I'm playing really well at Demo Man right now, but I'm doing shit. I'm on leaderboard. I don't know.
Still a sentry up there.
But I guess the main thing is a governing body is not likely to relinquish their control. They don't want to relinquish their control.
Oh,
That's
thank you, medic.
idea.
Oh my god, thank you for that crit.
And I actually wasn't. I'm not sure where I was exactly going with that. Oh, yeah, I think.
Kind of going. There wasn't any gold.
Karl Marx. Yeah, sorry, Karl Marx. So instantly, if you were, if you're American, like almost pretty much everyone on the server is, it's an American server. You probably hear that and go, "Uh-oh, that's communist." Karl Marx was a political scientist who he's basically he's effectively the founder of communism.
Yeah.
And something, like, one of his main points about capitalism, because, very much against capitalism, that was his whole thing.
Yeah.
One of his main points is that, when it comes to the hierarchy of the capitalist societies, okay, so I think the game's about to end, but last thing, the hierarchy of capitalist societies goes from workers, to the elites, to the governing, to then capitalism. Capitalism itself is more respected than any single person, even in an incredibly corrupt society. People want to adhere to capitalism, they want capitalism to stay in place. That's why the people will give up power to make sure that capitalism stays there.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, that's a big problem.
But wasn't Karl
Prepare to compete in 60 seconds.
Slap my head. One, two, three.
Prepare to compete in 30 seconds.
Bombs away!
Competition begins in 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Play ball! Yeah, thanks.
Mission begins in 60 seconds. Mission begins in 30 seconds. Mission begins in 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Now, hold on, let me look this up again. Oh, John Lennon is a different guy.
Oh, okay, yeah, I didn't know he was political.
Sorry, Lenin, L-E-N-I-N, not L-E-N-N-O-N. Lenin was, I believe, the first... leader of Soviet Russia. He was basically after the second Russian Revolution, because the first Russian Revolution actually was a... Okay, so quick history lesson. Before the Russian revolutions, Russia was a monarchy. This is the time that Rasputin... Yeah, Rasputin... This is the time that Rasputin exists. Rasputin is well known for manipulating the monarchy, and basically, he did a bunch of crazy shit, and all the crazy shit that happened made people completely lose trust in the government. I mean, people were already upset with it, but it's very... But Rasputin was honestly, he's not that important, but there are some theories that say, like political theories that say, or not political, there are some historians that say that without Rasputin, it's possible that the Russian revolutions would have never happened. But that's not really that important. The first Russian Revolution was a revolution to establish democracy, and that worked for some amount of time. But then the thing is, this happened at World War I. That's this happened at the first Russian Revolution happened, I believe, after World War I had started, but not before it had ended. And so, the thing, like, at first the democracy was going okay, but the problem was people, the Russians really didn't want people to be involved in, or at least the Russian people really didn't want to be involved in the First World War. So they got, they started a second revolution. And the second Russian Revolution was the Communist Revolution, and, spearheaded by the ideas of Karl Marx and, I believe, Lenin. His mistakes of Lenin have been costly. Stalin, I think that I don't think, it's not confirmed, but I believe Stalin killed Lenin and, took over, but it was, in a way that, seemed like it was just Lenin dying. I'm not 100% sure. Either way, Stalin assumed control, but it wasn't after Lenin had already made plenty of mistakes. It's not like communism was working great until Stalin came in and he ruined everything. It was flawed. I will admit it was flawed. It was flawed. The communism that they were implementing was flawed. Stalin just made it way worse. Anyway, so obviously that was bad. The thing about many people who are more moderate leftists sort of point to communism and say this is a great idea. I understand what communism is. It's a great idea. It's just clearly it doesn't work though. We've already tried communism before, multiple times in fact, in many different countries. It just doesn't work. And valid point, sure, but sure, that's a valid point, but the thing is everything was sort of based off of the first Russian Revolution, it was based off of Soviet Russia. Soviet Russia sponsored every single other communist revolution that happened afterwards. So none of them really had an opportunity to be free to try communism in a different way. All of it was approached the same exact way and sponsored by Soviet Russia.
Oh, I feel like every time I see communism happen, it's usually it just turns into pretty much. That's probably
it's the only other communist revolution that happened that was discernible from the Russian Revolution, from Soviet Russia was the Chinese Communist Revolution. And even then, it was still, it was still done while the Soviet Union was still a thing, but it just had some very different... But... Mao Zedong's own take on communism, and also, so I don't fully understand that. But, my point is, it's all sort of been based on the original, on the communism established by the Soviet Union. Now, at this point, the Soviet Union no longer exists. I'm not sure if Russia is even technically communist anymore. I know China isn't. China is a capitalist, I believe... I'm not 100% sure what China's pretty capitalist at this point. No, you don't worry about it. So, what was I saying?
Maoism.
Oh yeah, we really only have made one good attempt at communism, and like everything else has sort of been, you know, evil, but like brought up by the same evil. And you know, maybe America, you know, at the time could have, you know, tried to, you know, like, because the thing is, you know, the Red Scare that happened immediately after World War II, it was. And like a lot of America's efforts were specifically to stop the spread of communism, and they did this in very, well, like, not good ways. Because the thing is, it's not like that. America's main agenda was not to stop the lack of loss of freedoms. It was to stop communism. That was the whole idea. It didn't matter if a country was, like, you know, fascist. If it was also capitalist, it was fine. That's sort of the idea. Like, capitalism and fascism can't exist at the same time. They don't always, but they can. So America was far more likely to support very bad, like, human rights violation countries, as long as they were capitalists. That's sort of and America refused to help any potentially, like, free countries if they were trying to adopt communism. That's the problem. America says that, oh, they're standing up for freedom. They're standing up for capitalism. That was what was more important. So, because potentially if America had just, you know, tried to help keep things free, we could have had some instances of communism that were, you know, actually governed by a democracy, but they weren't, and as such we have this very skewed perception of what communism is, and part of it is America's fault. I think it's literally what Karl Marx said, where it's people, like, leaders are willing to give up power, and America wasn't giving up power here, but leaders are literally willing to give up power as long as they can keep capitalism as a system intact. It's weird. I don't fully understand why it happens, but it so consistently happens, like, all the time.
Wait, what in specific? I was talking
Oh, sorry. Leaders, like, giving up power to maintain capitalism is such a consistent thing that, like, continues happening. Despite the fact that it would be better for them if they kept power, people really want people, like, rulers of capitalist systems really want to keep power.
I think people are just really scared of communism. Maybe people are just really scared of communism.
I mean, the thing is, though, well, absolutely. I think it's only made the problem worse. It was the fear of communism. But even then, even before, it's probably people giving, like, up power to protect capitalism is more of a new thing. But many people, like, many rulers would still, like, protect the fundamental ideas of capitalism, even far before the Red Scare happened and all this, like, before communism was even, like, an ideology. That's what Karl Marx wrote about, was the way that people prioritize capitalism over all else. He was, you know, the one who kind of came up with communism. There was something to be scared of before that, I guess. Yeah, it's very complicated stuff, and I can't say that.
I lost the plot a lot of the time, but
yeah,
I'm trying.
No, it is. You're doing great. It's, I guess, kind of, basically, I don't know exactly what my point was. I think that's the problem.
I think you're just talking.
Yeah, oh yeah, people are afraid of communism. People are really afraid of communism, and because of people who are so afraid of communism, or especially the system, the establishment is so afraid of communism, the establishment is more willing to give up their, the Democrats are more willing to give up their power, to fashion, to, like, the Republicans, as long as it means that capitalism will still stay as like dominant, or at least with the hope that capitalism will stay dominant. They that's why they're not willing to do anything like take a further left position, which it's people or try to defend their power over the Republicans. They really want to keep capital. They don't want to do things that threaten capitalism. That's the unfortunate truth of it all. That's why America's in the situation it is right now. That's kind of my point.
Ugh.
Sorry, that was a lot.
It's okay. Chat, we're cooked.
Hey, we gotta stop it!
Oh, great, I got fucking, out of bounds.
Oh, we're cooked. Oh, we're cooked in 2-2-2. GG chat. Oh, fuck.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm pretty much done.
Oh,
with this
could
game,
you
so.
Player 222? Is that a fucking kid? Wait, is that the new Squid?
I'm the Squid Game, baby.
Oh my God, Squid Games.
This toddler in question is like level 1 bajillion or something.
Yeah.
Competition begins in 60 seconds.
Ooh.